Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello. So we are talking about meal planning the easy way. Stop making meal planning so stressful. We talk about this a lot, but we're going to go into a little bit more in depth today. So, how do you make meal planning easy? Stop making a meal plan every month. First, just stop.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll make your life a lot easier. So how do we meal plan? So what we do is we take 10 meals, our 10 favorite meals for winter.
Pick 10 that your family
and write it
eat
down
all the time. Mm-hmm.
And then if you just can't think of anything at all, right here in Dining on a Dime, volume 1, right there, 25% off right there. We have 5 pages of meal plans here of different ones. So let's say one of your favorite ones is chicken pot pie. So we've got chicken pot pie and cauliflower and broccoli with dip and Texas toast and baked apples and fruit gelatin. Now you don't have to make all of that. When Mom did these, she made a lot of food.
Yeah, just to give you a choice to pick from.
Give you some options in there. But take 10 meals for spring and summer and then 10 meals for fall and winter and just start there. So like right now we're working on spring and summer. So just write down your 10 favorite spring and summer meals. So like for us, it might be barbecue chicken made in the crock pot, shred some chicken, then I'll make barbecue chicken out of it. I could make chicken pot pie. I could make chicken tacos and just list those 10 things. That's one way of doing it. Now you can put it on Post-it cards index cards. You can put it on a Post-it note on your refrigerator. Mom had a little book that she just wrote it in and she just referred to her little spiral planner thing. And just do it that way. Now, the other way you could do it is like putting on a Post-it card or an index card or something like that is you could take and like, let's say, so sales, we were just looking at the ads and sales aren't that great anymore and prices are getting higher. So you're not going to be able to be that persnickety on your food. Sorry, folks. But as a matter of fact, I had a viewer today. Hello, Heather. She's like, I had to get off a Frugal Living website or a Facebook group because people don't want to actually change their ways to save money on groceries. All they want to do is complain about the grocery prices. So what you may have to do is if you can't afford boneless, skinless chicken breasts anymore, then you're going to have to get legs and thighs, which are like 80 cents a pound. And what you can do is on your index card or whatever, put boneless, skinless chicken breast recipes and put 5 or 6 different recipes, maple glazed chicken, honey glazed chicken, just chicken with some seasoned salt on top of it, chicken to shred, just put whatever your favorite recipes are, and then you'll have those ideas. So you can do it either by just the meat that you're using. So like this week, pork chops are on sale. So you could do, peachy pork chops. You could do green chili. You could just have pork chops. And that way you'll have your ideas and you're not having to strain your brain all the time, rethinking of the same thing over and over again.
So what I did was everybody eats, they've actually done studies on this, and everybody eats, like Tara said, the same 10 meals over and over and over again. Don't think that your family's going to get bored with that. A lot of people, when they hear we say just 10 meals, they'll think, well, that's going to get boring. But when you think about it, you're only feeding them those same 10 meals 3 times a month.
Yeah.
So they only get the same thing 3 times a month, which is nothing. You won't get bored over eating spaghetti 3 times in 1 month's time. Most families won't. And also, your family is not as picky as what you think they are. Picky as far as wanting a whole big variety all the time. We go on Pinterest and we see all these cool recipes, and all this neat stuff that we want to try and think we should kick it up a notch for our family. Most families could really care less. They just want their spaghetti. They just want their pizza. They just want their, barbecue chicken or whatever. So just relax and don't stress yourself over this. I mean, Julia Childs came on the scene, and from that point on, everybody thought they had to make gourmet meals and different things every single night. And you don't have to do it. Take the stress off of yourself. Write the 10 meals down. And what I would do is just list spaghetti, pizza, hot dogs, hamburger, meatloaf, chicken, something. Just put my 10 things down there. Look, I just named 5. Look how many Tara just named. So it won't be that hard for you to just start listing off the 10 things your family wants. Then what I do is you can put on the list on the side next to the paper or the card is if that recipe happens to have something a little bit unusual, like maybe you don't keep mozzarella cheese on hand all the time, like you do cheddar cheese or something, you could put that on a list. If you're going to cross from that menu, I have to get mozzarella cheese for this, so you'll know. And then check things out, like Tara said, on the sales ad. And if you see they have like chicken on sale, go through your chicken things menus for that week and just pull them up and use those then,
Yep.
for the 10.
Yep. So that's the first point, is just figure out what your 10 favorite meals are. So like for us, an example is we eat green chili a lot. We eat chicken curry a lot. We eat chicken tacos. We eat chicken fajitas. We eat Chipotle chicken. We eat just roasted chicken with rice or potatoes. So then I just rotate those meals every 10 days or so, and then you're not eating the same thing. So the next thing is pre-cook your ingredients. So this is my big one that nobody does and nobody talks about, but I don't just make a roast and eat a roast. I make a roast and that's dinner for the next 3 or 4 nights at least. So I have a roast in right now. So we'll have it for dinner after the show. And then tomorrow I'll have something like beef and noodles, or I'll have stew, anything that you could use for roast, or we'll have fajitas with that roast. That way you're pre-cooking your meat. It's already done and you're not having to wait for your meat to cook. So then I'm in and out of the kitchen in 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, it really does not take long to heat that stuff up. Cook your onions and peppers. If I'm making fajitas, cook my onions and peppers and put it all together. It doesn't take so long. So get your meats pre-cooked. Now, if you guys have any comments or questions, please post them in the comment section here and Mike will send them to me. Froze Family says, living long-term overseas, we've learned to be flexible with food. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Americans are just spoiled. Americans are just flat out spoiled now, is what it amounts to. They don't want to not have their steak. They don't want to not have their whatever,
their special this or that. And it's getting worse. It really is starting.
Prices are going up now.
I haven't been to grocery shopping very much since Christmas. I went once to pick up bread, I think, or something like that, until this week. And I was just appalled at how much they've jumped. And I was thinking today, I know you guys worry about this stuff a lot, but we may have to get to the point of you can't worry about whether you're eating fat, whether you're eating preservatives or this or that. You're going to have to get over some of these fears. You really will, because it's going to get to the point where you can't afford to be so fussy, organic. You only eat organic. You got to be careful. Start weaning yourself as much as possible to eating more variety of things, that are a little bit cheaper.
Yep. All right. So another example that we have, so this is Dining on a Dime Volume 2. Both of them are on sale right now, 25% off, guys. But like in Volume 2, it says the first night make chili. Then the second night make baked potatoes topped with chili. Or the third night you can the third night you can have chili dogs. So you make one batch of chili, but it's 3 different meals. Okay.
It doesn't act like leftovers, but you're using up every bit of your food.
Yeah, it's not leftovers. You're just pre-cooking for the next meal is all you're doing. Let's see. Stop making your dishes complicated. 90% of my meals is the main dish with raw fruits or vegetables and then either potato or rice. That's 90% of my meals. And I don't make it complicated. I don't make these huge salads. I mean, we have some really good salads in here. You know, somebody was commenting how they made the broccoli salad and they actually their family loved it for Easter. But you don't need to do that for every meal.
Well, and not only does that make it much easier for planning the meal, easier for cooking the meal, but it costs less. For example, I was thinking today, we talk about people being so obese and overweight, and I was remembering back decades ago where it was okay to eat fat. You know, it was okay to eat fat. And then they said, no, you can't eat any fat. At that point, I noticed there was a change in eating habits when people started adding all these special sauces to the chicken. Before that, we just put a thing of chicken in there with skin and fat and bones and cook it, roast it in the oven. And it was so yummy with all that, you know, the bones and the fat and everything oozing into the meat. And it tastes so good. Just a roast chicken with salt on it. And then people started taking the fat out, so they got boneless, skinless chicken. Well, it was dry. Boneless chicken breasts is a dry meat compared to the thighs and the legs and that type of thing. So they had to start adding things like all these different sauces and these special things to put on top of it because the taste was too dry and it didn't taste as good. If you go back to the more simple cooking and just take a chicken, sprinkle the salt on thighs and legs, you know, and pepper, and put it in the oven and let it roast, you have the best tasting chicken ever. You don't have the expense of adding the sauces, the time and energy it takes to take more time to make up the sauces, you know.
Yep. So what are some things that I do? Like I'll just slice an orange, slice a cucumber, have some carrots or baby carrots, cut up some celery, cut up some broccoli or cauliflower, and then we'll just, on the vegetables, I'll just have ranch dip or honey mustard or something like that. So, Wendy, thank you for the Bible money. Yes, actually, we got a request today for women's ministry, so we will send it for that. And so just keep it simple and stop making your meals so complicated. Now, you can go ahead and send me any comments or questions, Mike. Now, I'm curious to see how many people do it this way. The next way you can plan meals is to do it by type of food a day. So this was really big in the 70s, I think. Like Monday was Italian day, Tuesday was casserole day, Wednesday was Mexican day, you know, and you just had a special each day and then you just cooked your food. I don't know. Type 1 if you guys used to do or you still do the by the day cooking. Type 2 if you don't, because I'm curious. I'm curious how many people go by that, because I know I've heard some people say, oh, well, it's Taco Tuesday. And every Tuesday they have tacos. Well, that's fine. If your family doesn't mind tacos once a week, just make it easy on yourself. Oh, nobody does that anymore. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, nobody cooks that way anymore. That's funny.
I couldn't do menus very well because our life was such that at the last minute, we'd be running out the door to do something totally different than I'd originally planned. So what I did on my 10 menus was I made sure I had like 5, a little bit what I call more complicated. They weren't that complicated. It was maybe like throwing a roast chicken in, you know, and then having mashed potatoes. Those is what I considered a little bit more complicated menu. But I'd have 5 little bit that would take me a little bit longer, and then 5 shorter menus like, oh dear, we've got to run and go do this, and I hadn't planned on it, so I grab hot dogs. I throw a hot dog on a plate with some chips and maybe slice an orange, and call it good. That's my extra simple meal. So I did mine in the 2 categories of, you know, the really, really easy things, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you know, right away, slap that on the table. there's nothing wrong with having those for dinner. I think we've just got ingrained, like I said earlier, with Julie Childs and Martha Stewart, that we need to have these big, huge things. Some nights you just have to have it really quick. And so that's what I divided my categories into,
And yet you won't find a hot dog touch my mouth.
She won't eat hot
They're
dogs.
gross.
I know.
Sorry.
She just got the bun with butter on it then. No.
I don't do hot dogs.
She doesn't. She's never liked a hot dog. And hot dog's my favorite. If I have a choice between hamburger or hot dog, I'll do a hot dog.
Yeah. Okay. So let me grab the comments here real quick.
I don't know if I'm going off on a rabbit trail here. But one thing too about doing the 10 menus, we get a lot of people that say, what do I do about expiration dates on their pantry and the stuff they're storing in their emergency pantry and that type of thing? My 10 menus, I keep in my pantry the items I need for those 10 menus. In other words, let's say I'm going to do spaghetti, and that's one of my 10 menus is spaghetti. I have a ton of boxes of spaghetti noodles in there because I know that's a favorite. Now, I don't do spaghetti sauce because I make my sauce with tomato soup. So I keep a lot of tomato soup in because that's in with my 10 menus still. And I can use that tomato soup. I make I eat it with just tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich. In an emergency, I can just add water to it and use it. But I also use it for chili. I make chili with my tomato soup, and then I make spaghetti sauce with my tomato soup. So I keep a lot of tomato soup in there. And what happens is, because those things are all on my 10 menus, I just keep rotating those out. I never worry about an expiration date, And so that's one thing good about your 10 menus. Stock up on the stuff you need for those 10 menus and keep them in your prepping pantry. And you won't have to worry about, do I have spaghetti sauce on hand and noodles? You'll always have them on hand.
Yep. All right, guys, our Dining on a Dime cookbooks are in the description below. This is volume 1 and this is volume 2. Easy recipes get you in and out of the kitchen quick with ingredients you already have on hand. And this is our gluten-free, dairy-free edition right there. All right, we're going to get to the comments and questions. Also, we have Menus on a Dime. It's our ebook set that has, I don't know, there's like 100 or something menus in there. They're easy, normal food, nothing crazy, no shiitake mushrooms.
And like Tara said before, those menus are just to give you a jumping off point. You can mix and match, like you could take a salad from one menu and put it in with another menu. So even though we've only got 100, which is a lot, but you can get even more menus by mixing and matching the things together on those menus.
Yep. Heidi says, hello, had your meatloaf last night. That's volume 1 is regular meatloaf and volume 2 is the updated, not the updated version, the extraordinary meatloaf where it has more stuff in it. So if you want basic, get volume 1. And she said, I had your meatloaf last night and it was delicious. My favorite recipe now. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Thank you. Patty says, I made your oatmeal raisin cookies this morning. Volume 1. Thank you. They were so yummy. Detective Sam says, I made your broccoli salad. It was a hit. We have a broccoli salad in each of them. And it was a hit for Easter. And I will never buy store-bought again. It's so much cheaper to make. Oh, my goodness. I cannot stand. I'm sorry.
Stop
I cannot
buying
stand.
They're not that hard to make these things.
I can't stand the potato salad, the coleslaw, the broccoli salad. I can't stand any of that deli stuff that they have. It's just nasty compared to homemade. I really can't. Yeah, I can't.
And you can. It's not that hard. I had some cabbage that I grated up, and I'd run out of my salad dressing to put on it. And it kept in the refrigerator 3 days grated up like that. So you can grate some of this stuff up, or you can clean some of these vegetables one day when you have time after you go grocery shopping or whatever. And that stuff's in there ready, so you don't have to stop at the deli and get these things,
Thank you. Heather says a thumbs up, everyone. Yes, if you guys are liking this, please give us a thumbs up. We appreciate that. It helps the YouTube algorithm know you like us. Letitia, the broccoli salad is a great recipe for sure. Everybody's loving the broccoli salad.
Mhm.
Susan, for the first time in 50 years of cooking, my prices have doubled. I bought no meat. Even over-the-counter vitamins are high. I may run out of money, but with dining on a dime, I'll eat well. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Very good. Amazing Grace, hello. How is everyone? We survived storms yesterday. Oh, wow. I didn't know I had other things I was doing yesterday. So
Yeah, I saw
I
all
was
those
not
storms
paying attention to weather, but I'm
going
glad.
all the way across. I'm glad you guys are okay.
Hope everyone had a good Easter. I don't know if I'd call it good, but
it was interesting.
It has come and gone. Let's just say that. Purchase these amazing cookbooks, y'all. Love the recipes. Thank you so much, Donna. Yes, if you guys love our cookbooks, please tell everybody because they like social proof that it's not just me selling the cookbook. It's actually a good book.
You guys letting us know the recipes you like, because some people are on the fence on buying the book and they don't know if it's going to be worth it or anything. So you guys help a little bit on that.
Nancy, volume 1, the red one, is an excellent bridal shower gift. Yes, I have bought several for that purpose, and they have been appreciated. That's great. Edifying says, this weekend we're going to inventory our freezers. I'll plan my meals for the next month to eat down the old stuff and to make room for Memorial Day meat sales. Yeah, I hope they have them this year. That's a good idea.
Be sure Memorial Day is coming up.
My freezer's about, I don't know that my freezer has been half empty for a long time because I've been waiting, and I may have to just go ahead and pay the higher prices now. Michelle says fettuccine Alfredo is my favorite. That's volume 2. Thank you. And also Super Easy Recipes, my other YouTube channel that is a recipe channel. Michael put the link in there for you. That recipe is in, or that video is on that channel for that recipe. Super Easy Recipes. Michelle says, I always have a steam and bag microwavable mixed veggies for fried rice. Yep, that's what we do too. Edifying says, we've been doing customizable dinners a lot lately. Big family with various food restrictions, DIY pasta. I have no idea what tachos are. Oh, those are the tater tot things, I think. Texas haystacks, have no idea what that is. And Hawaiian haystack, had no idea what that is, but sounds interesting.
It sounds.
Nancy says, don't forget the barbecue meatballs. It's her very favorite for carry-in dinners. That's my mom's
recipe. And use the barbecue sauce in there. That's what makes those. Oh, they're so good.
She said the cookbook is worth it just for that recipe. Teresa, roast turns into barbecue or homemade roast beef and cheddar. Yeah, on Super Easy Recipes, just a few videos back, I showed how I took one roast and made it into 4 different meals. So you can see how you do that. Nancy, I'm thankful you left extra room around your recipes on the pages for your cookbooks. It makes it so much easier for me to make notes. I didn't do that on purpose, but you're welcome.
That is a good idea. We do have a lot of room. And
so you guys can see what she's talking about. There is
lots of room.
Did not do that on purpose. That was a typesetting issue, but I'm glad it's helpful. Me Too says portion control is a big help. Yes, just stop stuffing your face with so much food.
You will save so much money. We've had more people recently say they started doing the portion control and they've lost weight and saved money all at the same time. And I get so tickled when we hear those.
Yeah. Let's see. The next one is South Loop River says, today I saw 10-pound chicken quarters for $3.90. Ooh, I would have grabbed those up. That's a good deal. Now they're 80. I was just looking on Walmart and they are 87 cents a pound here. So that's a good deal if you found it for 39 cents. Just a second, guys. There. Okay. Got them banned, guys. Okay. Edifying says pre-cooking the meats means less heat in the house. That means the AC needs to work less. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if you this time of year get all your meats cooked up, I have meats all the way through to next fall cooked for my hamburger and stuff, so I won't have to be cooking, meats very much through the summer.
Julie says I bought 10 pounds of ground beef. Half were made into burger patties that I froze the other half. Very good. Julie says, I have made salad every day for one meal and never get tired of it. Some days that's all I have. There you go. And I bet you're not overweight.
Yeah.
Midwest Mom, I have a friend who is down to nickels at this point, still buying organic. I'm often at a loss of what to say to her. You can't say anything to her until she feels the pain to to do anything.
Whatever you do, don't enable her, because this is what happens a lot is people, we feel so sorry. And Tara and I have run across this before, that, you know, our heart breaks for them, and we have
not
the answer.
anymore. Sorry,
but,
I'm getting hard-hearted in my old age.
We've dealt with so much
like,
now,
sorry.
and you can't, because I've seen so many people be hurt worse by other people enabling them to do things, and it's just because it just continues on. It's like an alcoholic. You feel bad that they're having withdrawal symptoms from not having their alcohol, so you go buy them a bottle of booze to help them. And that's what it does with when you give money and stuff. Not that we're saying you were doing that, but you know, that's what happens. It breaks your heart having to watch that, but you got to stay strong. And you know,
MLE, I just heard on ABC News that the bird flu has caused the largest egg producer to slaughter chickens again. Oh, brother. Oh, gotta love it. Teresa, anyone notice chicken taste is off? I haven't noticed, but I haven't bought any chicken lately, so I haven't either. Noticed. Pamela, do you still use your Big Boss cooker? I do not, because now that I have the new kitchen, I don't need to use it. Julie, I also buy miscut chicken for a good discount.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
Well, I think that miskit. I've never heard of miskit, so I'm thinking she's meaning miscut.
Miscut, probably.
It's a typo. But she says it eats the same. Yeah, that would be good. If
that's kind of like the difference of bacon strips and bacon pieces. You can get.
Amy says, don't forget soup. I have broth and soup on hand. Any meats or fish for a really quick meal. Yep. Christy says, my son's girlfriend is amazing at meal planning. Now, for some people, if meal planning is a hobby for you, you go for it. You do whatever you want. I don't care. But for those of us like me, details, I do not like details. So I just.
Some people do really good. I just have never. I haven't had time to plan the meals.
Can you send me the next ones, Mike? Yeah. Teresa says, I just paid 69 cents a pound for bags. That's very good. Yep. She bought 2 10-pound bags. Good. Karen says, hello, my Load family. Hope you are well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kay says, add barbecue sauce to make barbecue sandwiches. Yes, that is a very good way to use chicken, pork, and beef, because that is that's, you know, that barbecue goes with anything like that. Becca says, isn't haystack usually rice, beans, peppers, ground meat, salsa, olives layered? Maybe. I have no idea. I've never heard of it before, so I don't know what it is. But yeah. Okay, let me see if Mike got me the questions. Here they are. Chrissy says, I usually make a big batch of chili and freeze half. Yep. Bonnie says, you know, we get a lot of people like all the time saying, well, how do you cook for 1 or 2? This is not rocket science, people. Make a batch of chili and freeze it. Make a roast and cook the different meals. Just cut it down and just make the portion that you want for that particular day.
That's another thing. You can half recipes. You can quarter recipes. I'm not sure why, but it seems like a lot of people have trouble trying to figure out that they can, or understanding you can quarter a recipe. We had a chicken recipe that called for 4 pieces of meat, and then you made the sauce to go with it. And I had somebody, they just couldn't figure out how to do that. Well, you just use 1 piece of chicken if you wanted to, you know, for 1 person. The recipe was for 4 people, so you use 4 pieces of chicken. So you just use 1 piece for 1 person. Some of the sauces, you can cut the sauce thin in quarters too. Or you could make the whole batch and freeze or save the sauce and just bring the sauce back, you know, and use that. Or you can do the whole recipe and freeze part of it, like Tara said. So it's not that hard. Just look at a recipe and think, well, I could just do half of this. Or like with the chili, you know, you can freeze it. Or I just use 1 can of tomato soup and make me a little tiny sauce.
Well, Mom doesn't make normal chili, so she just uses tomato soup with hamburger. But if you're using it with beans and all of that,
that would be different.
It's going to be more than 1 serving.
But I still just make 1 little saucepan of chili, and then if I have some left over, it makes enough that I could have maybe a meal for the next day, which is not too much to eat a second day to eat, chili. But then I also could use it, make my hot dogs and use the chili on top of the hot dogs, or make a baked potato and use the chili on the baked potato. So start thinking through. We have a really good leftover index, or look at the menus and see what's on these menus that I could use chili for, in place of or whatever.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Oh, hi,
Dear,
Jonathan.
Did you see what Jonathan sent us? A love offering.
Thank you.
Now we're up to $166, dear. You'll have to tell Jonathan what that's about. Bonnie says, I made your veggie dip. It was very delicious, much better than any of the dips for veggies. Yeah, guys, try our veggies and our seasoning mixes in here. They are really super good. Dwana says, I'm trying so hard to get off diabetic meds. Yep. Well, just keep losing that weight.
Yeah.
Chrissy says roasted chicken is the best. Yep.
Just
and Karen says roasted thighs is what I fixed tonight. Little salt, pepper, and paprika. Yep.
Yep.
Wanda says, I use the must go method. What must go the soonest and what goes with it? Exactly. Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you. Debbie doesn't like hot dogs either. Judy says, she uses Rotel tomatoes and tomato soup in her goulash. There you go. Teresa, I just cook a roast chicken. Then while it's cooking, I think of other meals I can make with it. Yep. Always rotating your pantry. Yep. Sybil, she made our sloppy joes. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is much better than manwich, isn't it? Oh man, my sloppy joe recipe doesn't even come close to manwich. Manwich doesn't come close to my sloppy joes. Gigi's Garden says thighs have the best flavor.
They do. They really do.
Sonia, my oven went out, so I bought a pre-cooked roasted chicken and we ate from it all last week. Still cheaper than eating out. Much cheaper. Several people were saying they get chickens from Sam's and all that. That's perfectly fine. If you guys have a Sam's or Costco membership, go in and get the $5 chicken. Believe me, that's way worth it. Bandana Grandma says she ate Tara's broccoli salad made by her in the kitchen and it was delicious. Thank you, Michelle. She had pizza on Friday and fried rice on Saturday, fish on Sunday. Bounty in the Badlands, our Easter ham and fixings. Reheat day 2, mac and cheese, ham au gratin day 3. Rest of ham sliced up and frozen for sandwiches.
Very good.
Tanya, I used to do the tacos on Tuesday, but if I have leftovers from Monday, it's Taco Wednesday. Hey, whatever works.
That's funny.
Edifying says food nanny teaches people to do that. It's a good idea when you get in a rut to do the days. Yeah. Letitia, I just make whatever sounds good to me on whatever week.
Bottom line is find a method that's going to work for you and your family. Like I said, I couldn't plan a regular menu thing out for 2 weeks or whatever because our life, my husband worked at home. I never knew when I was going to be dropping everything and go run do something with him and the business stuff or whatever. I never knew from hour to hour, let alone be able to plan a 2-week menu. So my life was a little bit different. If you have a regular routine where you go from 8 to 5 to a job in the morning or whatever, and it doesn't change a whole lot, then you can do maybe a 2-week menu. Find what works best for you, and how that's going to work. We're just giving you a lot of options is what we're trying to do.
Let's see. JT says, I start the week with roast chicken, make all kinds of different meals, and then end the week with soup. Very delicious.
Okay, yep. I'm sorry. I've not eaten lunch, and it's past dinner time, and you guys are...
Why didn't you eat lunch?
Because I was going to the dentist. I know. I didn't want to...
You didn't go to the dentist till 2 o'clock.
I know, but I didn't want to. Well, I ate breakfast late, so I would have had lunch late. But... you guys are making me hungry with all these recipes that you're doing on there is what I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted.
Michelle says, I love to eat egg salad too. Got tons of eggs. Yep, that's good.
Good.
JT, Creative Frugal Fun says, I have chicken, pork, beef, fix it yourself night. I make sure I have what I need in the freezer or fridge at the start of the week. There you go.
One thing too, about talking about what's in the fridge. I usually would do the night before I went grocery shopping. I've mentioned this before. I would go into the refrigerator or the night before I made my grocery list out, I should say, and use all the leftovers for dinner that night. Have one night of the meat or one night of the week before you go to grocery shopping, maybe, to just clean out your refrigerator of all the leftovers, and just it's every man for themselves to get, pick and choose what they want. That'll clean out your refrigerator. And then you can make your menu plans with the sales ad and use up all your leftovers at the same time.
Wendy says tonight's dinner is bananas and peanut butter. Okay.
That's perfectly fine. You can have a bowl of cereal. People just don't understand. You can have some of these things for dinner. Sometimes you're sick or your family's been sick and you just have to have these, different things.
Michelle says, Tara, we make our secret barbecue sauce on a hot dog. Very good for the 4th of July. Nancy says, so easy to cook from the pantry and freezer, saves times and brain overload. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Bounty the Badlands. Meal planning is, honey, what do you want for dinner tonight? And we use all our leftovers and then repeat. Defying Fridays are always eggs, usually briner or fish. I have no idea what briner is. My great-grandparents were Catholics, so it's part of our family culture.
Oh,
there you go. M. Dilworth says, our BJ store has whole cooked rotisserie chicken for $4.99. Yep. No. So what I would do when I lived in the city that had rotisserie chickens like that, what I would do is I would get 5 or 6 if my freezer had room, and I would buy them, use one for dinner that night, and throw the extras in the freezer. So,
and you might check at one point, our Walmart, I talked to one of the cashiers, and she told me, I think it was like 10:30 or 11. It's the times I'm sure going to be different. They would have rotisserie chickens out, but then they would switch them out at a certain time, and they put them on sale for half price because they want to put fresh ones out for the next, like dinner hour or whatever. So you might just ask it at the deli and see, when they do that.
Midwest Mom says, I recently, over the last, say, 2 months or so, simplified our stock to reflect more of what Jill was talking about. It only makes sense. Yep. Cecilia says, would you two consider doing an updated video on your skincare makeup routine? I went to get my foundation, and it went from $8 to $20. Wow.
I know.
I'm not going to do anything different because the fact of the matter is things are just going up in price. So you're just going to have to start making decisions on what you're going to buy and what you're not going to buy. And so
it's almost getting too late. What I did was about a year ago, I stocked up. And one thing, they say change your makeup out every 3 months or 6 months or something like that. I sold Mary Kay, and they taught us to do that, but you don't have to change it out that much. The only way you need to change your makeup out and get new stuff is if you all of a sudden you see just a little tiny breakout, you break out in your face just a little bit. You'll see it right away with a couple of, then well, maybe I better, if you've had it for a couple of years,
bacteria has got into your makeup.
And so then you get, you can replace it. But otherwise, I've kept makeup. Well, the tube I just finished off, I'd had it for 5 years. Now that's a really long time. And so, but it was in a tube, and I didn't get any really bacteria in it in any way. And so I could keep using it. And watch for sales. I was running out, and I was so excited because I went to, it was Walgreens. I never go to Walgreens anymore, but I happened to go into Walgreens that day, and they had a whole bunch of their foundation on clearance. Now, they didn't have a shade I could use. They had a really dark shade and a really light shade. What I did was I bought one each of those bottles, the light and the dark, and then I mixed them. Be sure to, if you find something on sale, think about, can I mix this to make the shade I need? And I saved a lot of money. I probably saved, what did I figure, $15 by buying the 2 of those to mix them. So if that might help give you a little hint. But I did about at least a year and a half ago, I stocked up on all of my skincare stuff that I thought stuff is going to skyrocket. And so I've already stocked up and I've got at least 2 years worth of stuff. So
But there's nothing you can do about it now.
yeah,
so.
it's almost too late now.
Ingrid says a $20 super sticker. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. One says, are you makeup if you have any kind of eye infection throughout the eye makeup? Yes, you need to do that.
Eye
yes.
makeup, yes.
Okay, let's see. The next one is Nancy. If you're close to Aldi, they always have a 4-pound, very nice whole chickens for $6.25 each. Very good. Letitia says, not sure if you've ever made this, but egg roll in a bowl over rice is a good recipe. Yep, we make that all the time. Keena, when my girls were still at home, I bought some grocery items, specifically Fend for Yourself night. Yep, that's what we do. Wanda, Tara, an idea of comparison video would be frozen meat to fresh meat of the same kind. See if one cooks down more than the other. Oh, that's a good idea. Wendy, I love the Dining on a Dime cookbooks. Thank you very much. Lots of tips and great recipes. Thank you. Bandana Grandma, our grandson just tested sensitive to dairy and gluten. So guess which ebook she just ordered? Or Dining on a Dime, gluten-free, dairy-free edition. Yes, it sure is helpful. Allison, my family loves the oatmeal muffins in volume 1. Sometimes I add mini chocolate chips or blueberries. Yep, that's what we do.
For something like that, like the oatmeal muffins and that type of thing, I keep instant oatmeal in my pantry just for, like, if I lose power or whatever, I can add, water easily to that. But I don't eat oatmeal a lot anymore. I used to eat it all the time, but I don't eat it so much anymore because I do my graham crackers. But I have packages of oatmeal now that are starting to expire, and I need to start using them. And they've got their flavor. They're the instant because I wanted them for my emergency stuff. And they're flavored. They're like banana flavored and that type of thing. And I started using them for like the oatmeal muffins, or if you put blueberries in it, I use the blueberry flavored, or put the banana, oatmeal can go in there. So that's one way to use up some of those things, is in the recipes that we've got like that.
Bye, Jonathan. We love you too.
Bye-bye, Jonathan.
Erin says, how is gluten-free different from volume 1 and 2? So gluten-free, dairy-free is volume 1 turned into a gluten-free, dairy-free cookbook is what it is. Jonathan says he loves my cookbooks. One of the favorite is the barbecue meatballs. Yep, everybody loves barbecue meatballs. Wendy, the roast recipes are great, and the roasted turkey too. Edifying says nachos over potatoes. Yeah, I think I remember that. She says haystacks are all of the taco toppings and meat over rice instead of taco shells. So just a burrito bowl is what it is from.
Oh, that would be yummy. Yeah.
Chipotle is what it would be. You can send me the next ones, Mike. Penn says, FYI, I went to Walmart for Easter canning and nothing left the day after. Target had a lot, but it was only 30% off. Did they have any yesterday?
They had a little bit. I didn't get anything for me, just for the grandkids.
Edifying says Hawaiian haystacks are rice bowl with chicken, pineapple, chopped peppers. So basically just stir fry. Why don't they just call it stir fry? I don't know, but okay.
Well, it's probably not cooked all together in a pan or anything. It's just topped with it.
Debbie, homemade potato, macaroni, etc. salads are so much better. Yeah, I cannot stand those deli store. Not even Costco. Sorry, guys, but ugh. Actually, I almost went to Costco yesterday. Our microwave has died again, and we had to go to the big city. And so we almost went into Costco to get a microwave. Probably should have, but we were trying to decide if it's worth a membership or not. And we were calculating the things. We were like, well, let's see. We buy allergy medicine and trash bags. Don't need to buy a laundry soap until I die. So, not sure it's worth it. If you guys have comments or questions, please post them in the comment box and Mike will send them to me. Question, Pin says, I made the Dining on a Dime apple oatmeal bars for Easter, but they fell apart. Why would they fall apart? I mean, I've made those 1,000 times and I don't remember them ever falling apart. Let me see.
I assumed you could have used all the exact ingredients that were in there.
Oatmeal, flour, cinnamon. Well, the butter should hold it all together. I don't know if you followed the recipe exactly in the book. I just looked and it seems like it's the
Does it
correct
have
recipe.
apples?
Yeah.
I wonder if the apples were drier, greener
Maybe,
and drier.
well, yeah, maybe if you used green apples, that might have
The
made it
apples
too
might have
dry.
been a little bit drier.
I do use Red Delicious or Gala usually.
Because there's some of them are juicier than other ones.
Edifying says Brenner is breakfast for dinner. Oh, I get. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll just say breakfast for dinner. Nobody will get it. Sybil loves our cookbook. Thank you. After spending an entire year, Mike, how do you feel? How do you feel about your accomplishment today?
Oh.
Mike has spent, it's kind of anticlimactic, but Mike has spent an entire year trying to get YouTube and Google to put our books on the shop page for our YouTube channel, and we finally got on there. This was like a big achievement. Yeah, after he ditched tech support, then he finally did it. Oh my goodness, you guys would have no idea what he's probably spent, I would say close to 200 hours, at least 200 hours probably, trying to get our cookbooks listed in the shop on YouTube. So just click on the shop and you can find our cookbooks now. This is a moment we should be celebrating. Debbie says our cookbooks are awesome too. She highly recommends them. Thank you. And Chrissy says buy the book. She has all three. Thank you guys.
Thank you. You guys are
25%
great.
off right now. Cheryl says I made orange glazed chicken with rice. Yum. If you need an orange glaze recipe, right here we have it in Dining on a Dime Volume 2. Bonnie, I have bought many of your books, daughters, granddaughters. They all love them. Need to buy one more. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Another thing, kids are going to be graduating in what? Oh, this is April. So next month, maybe. They're really good for graduation gifts in the sense if the kids are moving away from home. You know, I'm just really surprised how many young men, I say this, you hear me say this all the time, love cooking out of our cookbooks for some reason. And well, I guess they're a good cookbook. That doesn't sound very positive, does it?
No, Mother, it doesn't.
But, you know, the young people seem to really enjoy it. So if they're graduating, you know, it's something fun to tuck in if they're moving away, you know, out on their own or whatever, or going away to college or something like that.
Okay, leftover ham. Somebody wants to know. I put the link in
There's lots.
I put the link in the comments there for you. But omelets, chef salad, golden morning sunshine, sandwiches, cubed ham for fruits, salads, those types of things. Tortillas with ham, salsa, cheddar cheese. Save the bone for bean or split pea soup. Shayla's hand and noodles, ham and potatoes, ham casserole. Ham salad, potato salad, green beans, scrambled eggs, omelets, potato soup, scalloped potatoes, au gratin potatoes, pizza with pineapple or baked potatoes. There you go. Can't tell me you don't have an idea.
Click on the link because there's several links on there. We have a lot of stuff on what to do with leftover Easter stuff, don't we, on the website?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And Wanda says our cookbooks are well worth it, and I very rarely buy new books. That's great.
Thank you.
As I'm decluttering, helping my friend declutter her house, I saw her whole cookbook collection, and I was thinking, oh, we can just get rid of 99% of those and just keep one particular one. That's very good. Let's see. Teresa says, I only have the red one. I use it every day, constantly looking for new recipes I hadn't thought of. Then you need volume 2 also. They are totally different recipes. The red and the blue one, totally different recipes. Wanda says, I get tired of people who complain about how they can't afford stuff, but then they don't want to change their ways. Yeah. I mean, it's to the point now where I'm kind of like, you know what? I think a direction that I'm going to go with the channel, because I'm to that point too. It's like, you know what? I'm sorry. I have over 2,000 videos. You can go watch the old videos, but I'm tired of people whining about how they can't afford this and they can't afford that. You can, you just don't want to.
We've been so comfortable for so long. It's going to be, if things get even a little bit worse, it's going to be so hard on Americans. It really is.
Sybil
they don't change.
Loves it. Tara, I love the program nights when you are on with my lovely mother. Jennifer, what kind of coffee machine do you use to just make one cup of coffee? Just a regular coffee. They just have little coffee makers that are $10 at Walmart.
Yeah, I have it. It makes 4 cups of coffee, and that's all I
Yeah.
use. And I just make 1
Yeah.
cup.
Yeah, don't buy the pods. Stop buying the pods. That's a waste of money.
Yeah, and my little one, the last one I'd had it for like 15 years. So even though it's only $10, it's easy to work, and it lasts forever.
Wanda says, while visiting Hawaii, I've been visiting thrift stores and caught a rummage sale at the Humane Society. Well, there you go.
Whoa.
Wanda, when my daughter was young, I stressed the importance of learning fractions so that she could adjust recipes. I'm shocked how many people can't
half or quarter a recipe.
This is really
You
not
can tell we
rocket
get a
science.
lot of questions.
This is
on
like
this.
4th grade math.
Yeah, it's really surprising.
Everybody keeps wanting me to write a cookbook for 1 or 2, and I guess they can't grab the concept of, if I need to use a can of cream of mushroom soup, what do I do with the other half a can? Well, you save it and use it for another recipe.
Yeah. I just take half of it and put it in the freezer, and then the next time I need to use it, I pull it out, You can do that. And even what was it I did? Oh, I know, the other day I was thinking there's a recipe. I always need to use sweetened condensed milk, and it only uses like a half a can. And what was it? I thought of something. I saw a recipe to use just a partial can of it. So when you come across a recipe where it only uses partial of something like that, write it in a separate, maybe little notebook or piece of paper to put in the cookbook or whatever. And then you'll know, oh, I've got this half a can of sweetened condensed milk. So I've got the recipe for something different in here that I can use it for. But you can freeze a lot of this stuff too,
Let's see. Teresa loves the seasoning mixes in our book. She's tripled them and puts them in large mason jars. Yep, that's what I do. Ellen, she makes a big pot of chili and freezes it in containers to eat later. Yep. Becky says, I'm single. When I open a can of sauce, I use what I need for the meal and then flat freeze the rest or put them in ice cube trays. Yep, there you go. Peggy, my meal plans are okay, but my freezing skills suck. What is the key? Ziploc bags, vacuum bags, glass containers with lid. My key is just throw it in the freezer.
Yeah.
I don't do anything special. Mom will vacuum seal, but I don't. I just throw it in there and just make sure I just keep rotating through the food.
Yeah, because she uses stuff more often. Like I've had some cream of mushroom soup in there for almost a year now. And because I just don't use that recipe very often. But like she said, just to rotate. I was going to say the main thing people have trouble with freezing some of this stuff is they lose track of it in the freezer. So what I finally did, I have a small little box that I have all my hamburger that I cook up all at once, and it's in that one box. And then I have another container for something else, say, like packets of things, sauces or something. I'll have a little container like that. So I immediately know if I need sauce for something, I can go to that little basket, pull it out, and I probably have something in there. So I found that by dividing your freezer up into the little baskets, or I just use boxes, in there, you can keep track of it a little better. Some of you have other methods that you use, that you maybe just use the bottom shelf for something and just pull things forward all the time. Whatever works, try to find a method like that, and then you'll find yourself using this stuff more.
Suzanne says, I have all your cookbooks and love them. They have saved us so much money. Thank you. I'm so glad. Cheryl made the coleslaw and deviled eggs from our cookbook. It's so good. She's picky about her coleslaw. Very good. Yes, I'm making some of that for dinner tonight. Jim, my idea of meal planning is I plan to eat several times a day.
I'm sorry, Jim.
You would.
Man
Yes,
after my own heart.
You would.
Yes, that's funny.
Can you send me the next one, Mike? Diane?
Sounds like a guy.
I have a friend who is close to losing her house and she can't afford property taxes, but she will still only eat organic.
I know.
Sorry. I mean, I can't. I'm at the point. I don't even try to help those people.
Tar
anymore.
and I have like, we used to be so sympathetic, but we get so many people like this that it's just hard to do it anymore.
I'm just done. Water bucket says to cook 1 or 2 cuts, recipes half a quarter. Freezing the meals comes in handy later, or when I don't cook, just heat and eat.
Yeah.
Wendy prefers dark meat, and Johnson says all kinds of leftover veggies go in a Ziploc bag and freeze till I have enough for soup. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Edifying says 12-year-old son loves the coffee cake recipe. I just made that for Jack. He offered to clean the baseboards if I would make it for him. He would make it himself, but I won't share the recipe. I get too much extra help. There
We've
you
never
go.
heard of somebody using our cookbook for bribery or stuff in there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Jamie, first thing in the morning when Walmart opens, they have their deli pre-cooked rotisseries marked down to $2 or $3. That's a great deal. Yeah, I always stock up on several of
Find
those.
out when
Man,
they
that's a great
do that
deal.
because you can get some good deals.
Carissa, I got to come up with a great dessert for Sunday. I will look in your cookbooks. Yes, please do. Edifying says we call that you're on your yo-yo. You're on your own. Yeah. We say every man for himself. Yeah. Marie says, I call leftover night a biblical dinner. Seek and ye shall find.
I knew where she was going with that. That's good.
Debbie, I was so relieved to find eggs for $2 a dozen and butter for $3 a pound. Wow, you go. I'm glad you stocked up. I haven't seen butter on sale. My butter stash is going down quick. So I thought they'd have it on sale for Easter and they didn't here. Letitia. Oh, shoot. I should have done that yesterday. Letitia, homemade baked taquitos. Oh, man, that makes me mad. When we were in the city, I should have checked at a different store. Letitia, homemade baked taquitos is a great dinner option as well. Don't know how to make those, but that sounds delicious. Sneakers, my picky son loves the Texas Roadhouse rolls. Made them several times. Isn't that good? That was my first viral Facebook post. That was what got my Facebook page up to 400,000 subs like 10 years ago.
What?
There's bugs falling from the sky.
Die!
Now it's smushed all over my computer. Okay.
Mike doesn't want to know what she just did to the computer.
Where are the... We had snow 3 days ago. Where are the bugs coming from? Susan, could you do another video on your stockpile? Maybe updated. There's really nothing. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
there's nothing really to update.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda, if you know someone who is a Costco member, you can go with them as a guest. Yes, I don't really know anybody though. Okay, if you know what you want, let someone with membership know. Yes, we can do that, but I don't really know anybody. Debbie, has anyone else heard the chocolate is going way, way up soon? I have not heard. Cynthia, tonight's dinner was biscuits and sausage gravy featuring Mike's biscuits from volume 1. We made those the other day also. Million says, Tara, we have a close friend with Costco membership. Take you in for your microwave. Yeah. I have a cousin mother-in-law pick up eggs. Yeah, because we thought they have at least a year warranty. So here's what happened on the microwave. So we got a new one at Walmart. Lasted 8 months. I called to get the warranty. Huge pain in the patootie. But I did. So then we got the new microwave. Had our emergency that happened a month ago. And so I didn't get a chance to go take it in before the year was up. So then that one expired, so I couldn't take the one that was broken back. So then the new one didn't even last a month. It was like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it started arcing. And we were like, seriously? So in some of my cooking videos, people have said, well, Tara, how many microwaves do you have? Well, I have a lot because I keep rotating through them and I have one here in the studio that I was using when I was doing the cooking videos, but it's a super tiny one. So we're going to go to Home Depot, which is awful for appliances. I really don't want to go to Home Depot. I don't know. We may have to just make another trip to Billings and go get a microwave up there. We'll have to see. Wanda, let's see. They understand what you're trying to say about the young men in the cookbook. Shelby Lynn, I bought 2 of your cookbooks and some of our ebooks. Yes, I agree. Your Sloppy Joe recipe is terrific. Thank you. And Jim loved all the ham ideas. And Tanya says, I hope you will still do your live streams. Love watching them. Thank you. Diana, and Walmart coffee pot is so easy to clean. Yes, it is. No mold like the Keurig. Oh,
yeah.
After
There's no
seeing
mold
that
or anything
at the hotel, I don't know that I'll ever use a Keurig again. It's yeah. If
you go to a motel, look in the coffee pot before you use it because they never clean inside of those a lot of times, and it's kind of gross.
Yeah, there's no kind of about it. It's flat out nasty.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't understand why so many people say they have to make a full pot of coffee and it goes to waste, or it goes to waste. And then they say, because I have to make a full pot. There's no reason you have to make a full pot of coffee. And if it does that all the time, get you one of the little coffee pots and make just 1 cup of coffee. It's kind of like the half in the recipes. People don't understand that you don't have to do a whole big pot of coffee. So think about that and just do like the 1 cup.
Get some of the next one.
Save the extra in the jar and make it tomorrow.
Yeah, Mike
you
saves
can.
his in a jar.
Yeah,
and
if you're not
microwaves
really
it.
fussy about
Yeah.
it, you can heat it up then too.
Can you say the next one, Mike? Kay loves my old stove. Is your remodel of your kitchen finished? Yes, we finished it a year ago, almost. 10 months ago, we finished it. So you can just scroll back on some of the videos and you'll see it. Kina says, you pronounced my name correctly. I feel like I finally found a pencil with my name on it. I know.
Tara understands. The worst thing is she's
I
never
know
been
the
able to
feeling.
find anything with her name on it.
Yep. Lori Ann says, I only use half a can of cream and mushroom soup, not as much sodium. Yep, there you go. And Kara says she freezes in ice cube trays. Yes, I do
Mhm.
that a lot. Seeking Joy says coffee pods are too expensive and too much waste. Yes,
Yeah.
I totally agree. And Seeking Joy says also that in these crazy times, she looks forward to spending time with us. Thank you. Bounty in the Badlands. I'm a huge label and date everything I put in the freezer galley. Yep, I don't do that. I know a lot of people do. I just put it in as I get it. So like as one shelf gets cleared, then I know I need to use the next shelf is how I do it because I just don't have time to mess with all that. Jim says you can't make too much food with leftovers, just not enough. Huh?
Yeah, I get what he's saying.
You can't make too much food with leftovers. It's just enough.
I
Gotcha now.
Yeah.
Susan, where have all the crock pots gone? Looking for somebody took mine home. Oops. Well, there you go. Go to the thrift store. They're $3.
Yeah.
Teresa, she bought divider containers. She makes her own TV dinners with the leftovers. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Lori says a dozen eggs here is $1.47. Michelle says as an early memory, my mom made coffee cake for her highlights magazine party. Yeah, I remember those magazines. Kathy, Indianapolis, Indiana, our Kroger had butter on sale for $2.29. Oh man.
Oh, would have worth the trip to go there and get some.
Yeah.
Could you see us driving home with the back seat full of butter?
No, but that makes me so mad because I literally drove by a Kroger yesterday and I didn't even think to look. They probably had butter on sale for Easter.
Through Kansas with the sun beating down on the butter in the back seat.
That makes me mad. Michelle, I asked for a new microwave. I wanted a white one with black lettering so I could read. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Letitia, taquitos, ground beef, onion, salsa, simmer for a few minutes, warm flour tortillas in a microwave for 45 seconds. Add meat mixture to tortilla, roll up, place in baking dish, brush with olive oil. To top with shredded cheese, bake 375. Oh my goodness, serve with salsa. Okay. I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah. Carissa loves Mike's biscuits. Michelle loves our live streams. And Olympia says here in New Jersey, we've had rain for the last 3 days, spring break in the house. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's been. We don't know what rain is here. We got snow 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Let's look at the drought chart and see, are we out of a drought chart yet? Or out of a drought yet? Because I've been watching. No. Shoot.
I've always said, since I lived in Kansas, every spring break, it seems like we have one good snowstorm. And we did again this year. You guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I know why I noticed it because I always drove back to Colorado, from Kansas to Colorado on spring break. We'd go back and every time we'd run into snow. So.
Water Bucket says, Tara, you converted me. My grocery budget used to be $500 a month and I've lived off $200 much since October 2023.
Wow. Very good.
Very, very good. Havana.
That's amazing.
Got butter for $2.72. Wow. I need to leave the state of Wyoming and get me some butter. Dale says, my Keurig broke down. I had 14 pods left. I used 1 pod for 8 cups of coffee. It worked for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a huge waste.
If you can start too, we were talking about changing your eating habits to help start saving money. I know some of you like your coffee very, very strong, and that's fine. But what you might do is start cutting back. Like if you use a whole tablespoon, you might start cutting back to just 3/4 of a tablespoon and getting yourself kind of used to drinking less strong coffee, because you'd be surprised how much that'll save you in the long haul on coffee. And that can be with any type of thing, whether it's tea or whatever you have. Start cutting back just a little tiny bit to get your body adjusted, your taste buds adjusted to enjoying, the less strong. Then you'll be saving money that way, so that when it hits and it's going to get too expensive, you'll have got yourself partially prepared, and used to the less strong stuff.
Hi, Sierra says I turn my leftover coffee into iced coffee. Yep.
Mhm.
Sandy says check online for Costco membership. Sam membership is $25 first year. Oh, that's a good idea. Karen, I have made homemade breadcrumbs. Question, do you store them in the fridge or freezer? If you don't use them all quickly, I don't, because they're dried. So if you dry them, they don't need to be. You can store them in the fridge or freezer if you want,
Yeah,
but
if
I
it's
don't.
just the crumbs. Well, yeah, because wheat will go stale. So that's maybe what she's thinking, more
Well, like
stale.
crackers, you don't
No,
store
but I do put
crackers.
my bread in the freezer sometimes to
Oh,
keep it safe.
Well, I mean, so it just depends on how fast you're going to use
Yeah.
them. Diane, I have a large deep freezer and put anything in reusable Walmart bag totes. Then I just stack the bags. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
She said each item, like bacon, hamburger, steaks, has their own colored bag. Yep. Rosemary, hello. Glad you caught us. Barbara, can you suggest a Bible for 11-year-old? I gave her the one you sell, but she said some of the words were difficult.
NIRV is for kids.
Oh, Mike says the NIRV Bible is for kids.
You might go to the bookstore.
Yeah, so you might go to the bookstore and look through it. He said. Teresa just ordered our first and second cookbooks. This is volume 1 and this is volume 2. Thank you. You can get it in the description below.
David Jeremiah has a good child's Bible too. I don't know where you get it. I think they have them at Bible bookstores too.
Let's see. Barbara, French press for just 2 cups of coffee is easy to do. Yes, that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Michael does that.
Gina says leftover coffee makes good gravy.
Oh, and you know what else? When you make a roast, put leftover coffee, not a whole lot, like a quarter.
Please don't ruin your roast like that.
She didn't even know.
That's why I hate coffee.
It makes the gravy richer, and you can't even taste the coffee. So if you got like a quarter cup or a half a cup left over, put it in with your roast and it'll be the best gravy you ever had.
Don't ruin your roast. Please don't ruin your roast. You can taste the coffee.
She doesn't know that.
Havana, I got that one. And Janet had butter for $2.29. Wow. Leftover coffee is good in chocolate cake or brownie recipes. No, it's not. Then it tastes like coffee and it's nasty. Ugh. Please stop ruining these delicious foods with coffee. Joyce, do you have any of the 2024 cleaning and budget books left this year? Yes, we do. So they are undated. They're not 2024. They're undated. So you can start them now and you can grab it in the description below. Okay. Thank you. Linda agrees with me. Thank you. That's good, Mike. Olympia, try my name in Portugal. It's written with I here in the US, and with a Y, it's always written like that wherever I go. Oh dear. Waterbuck. Oh yes. Carrie says no stress. We cook at home, make homemade hamburgers fried for a few days. Yep. Mm-hmm. Lori, we are supposed to get more snow this weekend. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Well, I put my plants out on my little rolly cart and I'm starting to harden them off, but I'm sure we'll have at least 2 more snowstorms, at least, if not 3. But I'm going ahead and getting stuff ready now just because I ran out of room in my house to get my tomatoes and stuff started. So yeah, spring is on the way. Vicky, how long did it take you and Mike to eat all the bacon you fried to do the dishwashing liquid challenge? Actually, the boys helped, so it didn't take us too long. It took us about 2 weeks, actually, so not too long, actually. Maybe 3 weeks.
It helps having teenage boys to eat the stuff up.
Carrie says, clever, 1 meal, 3 different meals out of it. Yes. 1 meat, 3 different meals out of it. Yes, that's what we do. Do you have any ideas for something with a crunch for a snack to have on hand? With a crunch.
Well, it depends on what you
carrots,
want.
Celery, broccoli,
if you want healthy, or you could do peanuts.
Yeah, any of the nuts.
Popcorn is really good snack.
Yeah.
Popcorn's really good because you can add more butter or less butter, whatever you want to it. Especially like I make mine in a pan where you put the oil in and it pops, not in the microwave all the time. And so popcorn's really good. It fills you up a lot too.
Okay, let's see. We have, Carrie says, I have leftover pumpkin caritas greens from last night. It will be veggie soup and lentils soup. Well, I never heard of that.
I hadn't either. That's interesting.
New one on me. And she says we made birthday muffins in book 2. Very delicious, colorful for Easter. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Okay. Havana says, I live in Kentucky and there were 4 or 5 tornadoes touched down yesterday and last night. Wow.
I was watching. You guys were getting hit all along there.
And Linda says she loves both of our Dining on a Dime cookbooks, Volume 1 and Volume 2. You can get them in the description below for 25% off right now. And our gluten-free, dairy-free edition, if you need it, in the description below. Just click the shop tab if you want, or the link is in the description. Please visit us at livingonadime.com, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Love you.